Hey, my friends, what is going on? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the stream. Not a lot going on. It's officially August, which means gaming, for the most part, is dead. Quite possibly the deadest it's been in a while. Like, a while. I hope you guys had a great week. You had a good weekend. We've got, I don't know, somewhat busy week, but not really. We've got more Grounded 2 content coming for you guys. Seems like a lot of you have been enjoying the first wave of Grounded content that's come out, but we've got a couple more videos in the hopper. And then, guys, I don't know. There's not much going on. August is always just like the worst gaming month because August and December. And then sometimes January, but January can be weird because sometimes January has like a really big drop right out of the year, like the new year, which is always fun. But yeah, August is terrible usually. And we dropped our 10 games to check out in October. Not October. 10 games to check out in August. There we go. There's the right month. And both Livin and I were like, dude, this list is terrible. This is not a good list of games. Like, we even included Madden on there, which, yuck. Like, that's not a game we want to include on there. But, like, it's popular. Fine. Whatever. People like playing Madden. But, like, that would never have risen to the level on any normal month. But, yeah. So, we're playing Grounded 2 right now. I've dipped back into my World of Warcraft a little bit. There's a new patch coming out this week with the new content, Season 3, and then there's Gamescom coming up. I think there's going to be some fun stuff coming out of Gamescom. Gamescom has strangely, like, risen to, like, the second or third biggest gaming convention now that, like, E3's gone, and, like, Summer Game Fest was okay this year, but everybody's doing, like, proprietary stuff, right? Xbox has their showcase, Ubisoft has their showcase, whoever else has their showcase. For whatever reason, Gamescom has still managed to keep most of them together, and I think it's because it's in Europe, right? So a lot of the big developers are in Europe. We know that. There's some great, US-based developers, but there's also a lot of great developers around the world. And getting together in Cologne, is it Cologne? Maybe, I forget exactly where it is, but it's somewhere in Europe. Like, that's very easy for them. Yeah, THQ's showcase was okay, Daniel. I didn't mind it. Like, I don't care for like Wreckfest and stuff like that, but super excited for Darksiders 4. I'm actually surprised. Did anybody even post that on the? Yeah, they did. Okay. So we'll talk about that one. But yeah, August is dead, guys. There's not much going on. So what we're gonna do, as we always do every week, is we're going to dive into some stuff on the subreddit. As always, guys, it's a little thin this week. So I ask for your help to post all of the trailers that you see. They could be small games, they can be big games, they could be whatever you see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trailers is not going to cut it. Usually we get through like a dozen at the minimum. So we're probably going to we're not going to end early. I'll probably jump into some Grounded or some WoW or something like that and talk to you guys. Unless, and you can do this in real time, you guys can post some new trailers to the stream. I will, of course, put the subreddit in the chat. We're getting there. 86. We're getting there. Closer to 100. Closer to 100 every single day. What's going on, Danny? Welcome back to the stream, brother. All right, guys, we're going to start with this Hell Is Us trailer. I don't know how many of you had the chance to check out Hell Is Us during its demo period for Steam Next. I forget what it was. So I actually had the privilege of going up to, where the heck was I? Montreal, to check out Hell Is Us. It's an upcoming third-person, open-world Souls game, and I really enjoyed it. It's not perfect, and I gave them some very pointed feedback in real time, which is not something I ever really get the chance to do. Usually I'm, talking to developers or publishers about their game, but I'm not actively giving them feedback. So this was one that I really got to give them feedback on. So this is going to be interesting because based on the thumbnail, we're diving into a dungeon that I've actually already played. So I'm super excited to check this one out with you guys. I think this game, which, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, guys, comes out in September, has a real shot at being something if the timing of the release works the way I think it will. So this is Hell Is Us. This is diving into one of their dungeons. Here we go.
When the fury of emotions sparks the wildfire of violence, it dissolves our illusions and exposes the fragile structure of reality.
Hell Is Us is not your typical action-adventure game. There's no map, no quest markers, and no hand-holding. Just organic exploration asking you to trust your senses.
That is
and a
very
country
true.
torn apart by civil
That is
war
part of the game.
and plagued with supernatural forces. You're free to explore and to investigate in your own way. But deep within this wounded land lie hidden places.
September 4th, thank you.
Structures that seem to resist time, sometimes buried, sometimes towering in plain sight, but always waiting for someone bold enough to enter and understand. We didn't design these dungeons as mere set pieces.
Yes, this
We
is the
built
one that I
them like
did.
Old school video
I didn't
game
beat it, though. We
challenges.
didn't have time.
Tight, crafted, deliberate. Every corner, every obstacle, every encounter is there for a reason. You'll face twisted architecture, enemies that push your mastery of the melee system, and layouts that force you to think, not just react. If you missed the days where exploring a dungeon was memorable, this is for you.
I buy it a little bit. I'll tell you why after. It was a cool dungeon. I'll give them that. It was a fun dungeon. It did feel like a little
Each
bit like an old
dungeon
school
has
dungeon.
its own identity, its own history. We wanted them to feel alive and wonderful to discover. The kind of places that leave an impression even after you have left. Deep in those dungeons, you will
I hear you,
encounter good
Christopher. This is
old-fashioned
definitely not
environmental
one for the-
puzzles
the faint of
requiring
heart.
you to take a step back.
And
in
I'll talk
order
about
to
that a little bit
understand.
too.
Solving a dungeon puzzle in Hell Is Us is about understanding the location and its environments, observing, trying things, failing sometimes, and coming back with a fresh idea that will solve it all. When it clicks, that's when you feel it, that little rush. Not because the game told you what to do, but because you figured it out on your own.
There's a lot of that in this
what
game.
we're after.
I have not played Battlefield 6 yet. Nope.
While puzzles are a key part of the dungeons in Hell Is Us, there's more to them than just that. Some of the fights you will face might stick with you. Not because they're brutally hard, that's not the kind of game we're making, but because they hit differently. They happen at the right moment, in the right place, and they carry weight in your journey.
I assure you I am not, Fervor. There's no reason why they would give us access to Battlefield 6. Those are not the types of games that we ever cover. All right, so I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the trailer. This is what I will say about this, and I can speak openly about this game and my experience with it. So I'm actually pretty excited about it. I'm really positive. Lex, what's up, brother? I'm really high on this game. I think it's really cool, and we talked about it in our preview video. So if you have not checked out the preview video, I highly recommend you do it, because this game, it's one of those games. I don't think it's a Black Myth Wukong, right? It's not going to just show up and all of a sudden be this insane, like, gaming event where it just becomes this monolith in, randomly out of nowhere. It's not going to be that. What they're doing is creating a game that is very atmospheric and relying, like they said, on like minimal story, minimal hand holding. And it's really true. So as you're playing the game, you're picking up items, you're meeting people, you're seeing things. You have no idea what any of it is. No idea. Like in the preview, I talk about it like right off the bat. One of the first things you get is this like gold chain or something like that, and you get it after exploring like the intro area. You can miss it. You definitely can miss it. But you pick it up and you're like, I have no idea what this is. And it was with me for the 6 hours I was playing this game, and it never was part of anything. Like, that is the game they're trying to make here. And you can see with, like, all of these things, all of the puzzle things, like, you have this big inventory of items. You have no idea what they do. And then you have to kind of piece it all together. Where it gets a little weird for me is, like, I really like the creative director who is the narrator behind this voice. Incredibly passionate. I love that. really passionate about this game. I can tell you that because I met him in person. I talked to him about the game. I think the team is really smart. We met the technical lead, the combat lead, the systems guys. Like, they're all very smart and they understand the game. I think there is a tweaking of the game that needs to happen specifically from the combat side of things. The combat, especially the defensive stuff, the dodging and the parrying. I think there was parrying. I can't remember. I played too many Souls games. It definitely needs a little work. Danny, I personally liked Wu Chang. I think I didn't make a video on it because I didn't get to finish it, but it was a burn for me that like constantly kept coming back. I was like, oh, okay, this is good. This is okay. Okay, I'm starting to like this. Like, it built up for me. I don't think Wu Chang rises to the level. Like, it's a 7 or an 8 for me if we had some sort of scale. What Hell Is Us is doing is the environmental piece of it, the no hand-holding, if they stick to that the entire game and they figure out a way to make it really enjoyable and not incredibly tedious, I will tell you, in the 6-hour session that I played, there were moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't figure out anything, and there's no way of figuring it out, right? And it's unlike what is it? It's unlike Elden Ring in the sense that like there really are only a couple directions is good. Yeah, I think it is above average Lexicon. It is above average game in my opinion. It's a 7 or an 8. A 7 to me is mediocre. An 8 is good. A 9 is well, I guess 7 is average or above average. 8 is above average to good. And then like 9 is really good, almost perfect. Like, I don't think 10 is perfect. And I always hate that like 10 out of 10 means perfect. I don't think it does. But then again, that's why we don't do a rating system. Because quite honestly, like, I don't believe in it. I think it's way too hard to parse. There's consistency issues. Like 7 out of 10 is just what we know from IGN, right? Like, they're the ones who started all that. Maybe it was Game Informer. I don't know who started it, but anyways, doesn't matter. There's some really cool parts to Hell Is Us, and I really like it. Like I said, I was brutally honest with my feedback to the team. I want this game to be good because we love games like Remnant 2, right? There's a lot of Remnant 2-esque stuff in here that we like, you know, specifically the secrets, the puzzle solving. It's nowhere close to Remnant 2 combat. Nowhere close. And that's because this is a primarily melee game, so there's that to consider. It's primarily third-person melee, which makes it more of a Souls game than a shooter game. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I hope, like, you getting a glimpse of the dungeons. I didn't think the trailer did a great job of, like, actually showcasing why the dungeons are cool. But you got to see certainly a number of them. This is the one that I got to explore right here with the water wheel. And I think I was in there for 2 hours and didn't get a chance to finish it because that's the type of dungeons and things that, like, that's the type of level of detail. Like, you kill shit. You kill a bunch of enemies, but then you have to figure out all of the things. Danny, thank you, brother. Appreciate the 5 spot, man. Thank you. Anyways, I'm really excited about this game. This is coming out in September. I think, Chris, you said September 4th. I will be checking this one out probably early. I haven't asked them for it officially, but you know, it's definitely on the radar. All right, that's Hell Is Us. As you guys can see, there's not a lot of hype around this one. 11K views 3 days ago, and that's pushed out by Xbox. There's not a lot of hype about this one. I'm hoping that our channel can bring a little hype to it. All right, guys, let's dive into Battlefield. We might as well. Battlefield 6 multiplayer trailer, the classes, the combat destruction, maps, modes, and Portal. I mean, this was the Battlefield week. You know, I think it's really interesting. We see this cyclical nature of things, right? Battlefield's out of the zeitgeist for a little bit. Boom, they're back with a new trailer, and all of a sudden, Battlefield is back. Battlefield is everything, and like, you know, COD is dead. All the things. We have to talk about it. Whether you like these types of games or not, we have to talk about it. And again, I think one of the strengths that myself and Livid bring to our channel is that we will play pretty much anything. I'll play sports games. I'll play, you know, shooters. I'll play BRs. I'll play Souls games. And I'm pretty good at all of them. There are definitely genres that I'm better at than others, right? Like indie roguelikes, pretty dang good at. Third person, whatever, I'm pretty good at. But Battlefield 6, Battlefield in general, first person shooters, it's been a minute. So when I look at a game like Battlefield, what I'm looking for is specifically Battlefield is the vehicle stuff. I love riding shotgun to Livid or our buddy Grin, flying these things, flying helicopters, driving tanks, and me being the shooter. I love that stuff. But let's check out the multiplayer gameplay trailer. I have not seen any of these. I was holding out because I wanted to watch these with you all. I'm sure you've all seen them at this point. A lot of people have played these games already, played the game. I think open beta starts this coming weekend, so if you want to check it out yourself, you can this weekend. Somebody fact check me on that one, please. But yeah, this is the multiplayer gameplay trailer. I believe this was the first gameplay that was released of the game. Here we go. That's cool. Is that like an airburst mortar deployed from the ground? That's pretty sweet. I always love the presentation. I just never see it translate to the actual gameplay. Oh my god, they're using Limp Bizkit as the soundtrack? That's hilarious. Of course, there's got to be drones. We got shields, we got drones, we got mortars, all sorts of gunplay stuff, obviously. Stabby stab, dog tags. Yeah, it's a hot trailer. There's no doubt about it. Whoever was behind this trailer absolutely grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's the only way Limp Bizkit's getting picked for the backing track. It's an interesting cut of the song, though. Not to keep talking about the music, but like, music makes these types of action trailers. Jeez, so many shots. Oh my gosh. That 2.5 minute trailer, not even 2.5 minutes. And my goodness, you get quick cut after quick cut after quick cut. It's a lot of stuff. And of course, here we go with all the pre-orders and nonsense. I know we're never going to get back to purity, right? We're never going to get back to a point where all of these bundles and passes and things, don't exist in our games. Battlefield 6 has an opportunity right now. Now, I don't play COD, right? I don't play those games, but Nas on our team, keeps me kind of informed of like what's going on with COD. And he says it's pretty much unplayable right now. Hackers, the state of the game, the kind of silliness of the game, it has created, when a game is slipping, right, especially a game, a stalwart like Call of Duty, when a game like that starts to slip, it creates a void in the market. And that void in the market is, it looks to be filled by Battlefield 6. What I have always said, and you guys have heard me say this on streams and other places, when a developer is unafraid to show off their game, that is always a good sign. That is a sign that they are confident in what they are building. That is not something we always have seen from EA games. We see a lot of flashy trailers, but we don't get access. We don't see reviews, things like that. This game, this is a flashy trailer. Like, let's not say it's anything other than a really flashy trailer. It's showing off a lot of systems. It's showing off a lot of the deployables. It's showing off a lot of the gunplay, the weapons, the vehicular stuff. It's showing off a lot of stuff. I am super excited about this game. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This may not be your cup of tea. I love these types of games, mainly because I don't feel like I'm like playing a competitive game the way that I would if I'm playing Call of Duty. Every time I'm playing Call of Duty, I feel like I am playing against the best players in the world, and I've never found that skill-based matchmaking or anything like that really got it right. So I really look forward to a game like this, which is more larger scale. Everybody's kind of in the slog together. Sure, there are great players. There are competitive players, no doubt about it. But it feels a little bit more like you're on even footing. I think this is a good first showcase, and I know we have 2 other trailers to get to, but like just in terms of, and we always, I try and do this with a lot of the trailers, right? 4.5 million views in 3 days. That is a huge, huge, huge viewership. Do not undercount like how excited people are for this game, because I think this is one of this is the best Battlefield has looked in a minute, and it's a combination of a couple things. The Levolution stuff, right? Fully destructible environments, massive scale, and also making sure that the classes come back. And obviously that is kind of a segue into this next trailer here, Combat Classes and Destruction. This is a 5-minute video, so hopefully we're going to get some more details about at least some of the classes. So let's see. This is already a really epic shot, I can tell. I think that dude is literally sitting.
At the core of
That's
any
got
good
it. No, yeah, no, that's
first-person shooter is the
CGI. That's
connection players
freaking
have
cool.
with its world. We know the things our players love about Battlefield and are elevating them to an even higher quality than ever before. Our class system is back, with new innovations to give players even more choice. Intense tactical combat, from the gunplay to the way you move across the battlefield, rebuilt from the ground up.
How come
Vehicles
it's
that
always
feel weighty,
rebuilt from the ground up?
powerful,
Every
and can
time it's
change
always
the tide
rebuilt
of
from the
war.
ground up.
And of course, destruction. Something Battlefield
This is
does
actually one of the
unlike
coolest
anyone
ways to
else.
showcase like talking head stuff that I've ever seen.
We heard you
That's
loud and
cool.
clear. You want the class system back. Assault, Engineer, Support, and Recon.
Let's
An
go.
iconic formula for
They're
battle.
back.
Each class features a signature weapon set, as well as class-exclusive gadgets and traits that define your role in the squad.
The Assault class are the frontline killers who punch through enemies' defenses to open a way for the rest of the team. A handy grenade launcher will
That is
rob
not
enemies
me.
of
I
their
am not
cover,
good enough at
while
shooting.
flashbangs send them scurrying through the line of fire. Cornered by the enemy, an adrenaline shot may be the difference between life and death. Assault's enhanced mobility, combined with the option to throw on an extra primary weapon, makes you a formidable force that can push deep behind enemy lines.
You need a deterrent for tanks, helicopters, fucking jets? That's when you call in the engineer.
Just dropping an F-bomb casually
Armed
in the
with a satchel
trailer.
filled with rockets and
That's
mines,
funny.
this class is all about being a menace to the vehicles hunting your allies. They're also the only class capable of repairing friendly vehicles, equipment, and weapon placements.
I always feel like I go
Support
into
class is
being
there
an
to pull your
engineer.
ass
I don't
out
know
of
why.
fire, throwing down supply crates, heals, and ammo to keep you in the fight. Support can lay down deployable
I love that
cover
you can now
to intercept
drag your
enemy
allies.
grenades
That's
and
cool.
missiles, and they're the masters of the machine gun. There is no better class to keep your squad in the fight when the odds are against you.
Recon is our tactical mastermind who provides vital information to the squad and stalks the edges of the battlefield, usually
That is
with a
also
sniper
not my
rifle in
class.
hand to pull off the perfect headshot. With drones capable of pinpointing enemy positions,
That's cool.
C4 that can cripple tanks and level buildings,
Yeah,
and a
medic.
laser designator that will guide your allies' missiles right to their target.
I have never seen that work
For Battlefield
successfully.
6, we've reapproached
But that's
combat
just me, and I
rebuilt it
play
from the
very
ground up
casually.
to create an experience the team calls the kinesthetic combat system. Designed to give you a wider range of tactical and reflexive options during the heat of battle.
Okay, so this is a
It's about
a
being aware
counter
of what's
to
around you.
COD's movement system. Omni movement, I think it was
How
called.
you move, how you shoot, and how to use destruction are all carefully balanced and work together to define this new system. With Dragon Revive, you can now cross no man's land to save a downed squad mate by pulling them to safety while
I do really
reviving
like
them.
that. Being able to pull somebody seems like
You can also
really
lean
cool.
and peek around corners.
I don't know,
mount
Fervor.
weapons
That's
on
not really
walls,
our cup of tea, to be honest
Crouch
with
while
you.
sprinting,
We'll play it.
and even perform agile rolls while escaping enemy fire.
All vehicles have been
This is
tuned to be
crazy.
more
This
responsive and
entire
intuitive
like
than ever
these guys
before.
talking with this stuff in the background is
Whether
nuts.
you're tearing across the sky
And I
in
know
a
it's
chopper,
CGI, but
raining
still.
bullets down on your foes, or rolling through the desert in a tank. The new Hitch
Oh my
Ride
gosh,
ability
I
lets
love
your
the
squad
vehicle
stay
stuff.
together by expanding the number of spots available for vehicles.
That's cool.
And while it's easier to navigate with simplified control options, harnessing these war machines' full lethal potential requires the expertise of a pro.
Yeah, medic or engineer. I am always definitely a supporter. I definitely am
We
not a
know you
frontline
love
person. I'm
destruction.
definitely not a sniper.
And for Battlefield 6, we wanted to push destruction even further, both in terms of a spectacle and as a gameplay mechanic.
We're debuting a new iteration called Tactical Destruction that gives you even more options to
Are you
own the
really? Oh,
battlefield
that's funny.
with countless ways to transform the environment. Wall blocking your way? Try C4, a rocket launcher, or your handy sledgehammer.
The sledgehammer's a cool addition.
Squad firing on your team from above? Take out the floor beneath them. Or blow it all up. Climb over the rubble? Problem solved.
All these things come together to create a genre-defining, must-play first-person shooter experience you cannot get anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. This is a lot of what I would expect from a game that's trying to come back and find itself. The 4 classes are great. That was absolutely a necessity for this. You know, this iteration of Battlefield had to have classes in it. Getting away from that was one of the dumbest things they ever did, quite honestly. The Levolution stuff is great too. You know, my fear with Levolution stuff is always, you know, once you destroy a world, what happens? Right? And I think some games have experimented with, you know, like time rewinding, right? Like turning back the clock and somehow making it so that like levels regenerated. But I mean, you see all this stuff in real time, like these buildings coming down. Okay, what happens when they're all down? You know, does that just kind of create like a static map? And I don't know how they get around that, right? Unless you just create massive maps, but then you run into a whole another set of issues. It looks really good in a trailer. I kind of want to see how it plays out. And I think I know how it plays out, and I've experienced it before. Like, their Levolution stuff has always been pretty good. But, like, once, especially, like, those tight city-based maps, like right here, once you destroy this house, it's just a house with, it's just rubble. And so you're just fighting in rubble, which is fine, right? Tons of places to hide and things like that. It just always strikes me as, like, a selling point that I really like, but also a selling point that's not always entirely genuine about, like, how it works. Because once things are broken, they're broken, and that's it. Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that, but it ends up looking like a war zone. And so whether you like that or not, I think it's an interesting part of the Battlefield trying to figure out the ways that it creates destructible environments. The rest of it, I mean, is all pretty standard. I like the idea of giving more slots to vehicles. I don't think people really utilize a lot of the passenger vehicle stuff anyways, but if you can jump on the back of a tank or, you know, a half-track, something like that, I think that's pretty cool. I love this ability to pull your allies. And then the other thing that I thought was unique was the sledgehammer. I want to see how often people actually use that, especially because, like, the fighting, you know, enemies fighting above you using C4 to blow up the floor. I think it's a cool concept. I just really want to know how realistic it actually is. So that's trailer number 2. Yeah, I'm glad they're not afraid to try things, but I'm also glad they're going back to their roots in a way. So let's check out Battlefield maps, modes, and portals. This is a 4-minute trailer, so a little bit shorter, but let's see what the heck they're talking about here. Here we go.
In Battlefield, you and your squad will be battling it out across a world drowning in turmoil. A world filled with epic battles for you to partake in. All our spaces are built for the experience you want as a player. Whether that's intense, close-quarters infantry combat, or large-scale warfare with tanks, choppers, and jets. So let's start with where you'll be battling it out.
Battlefield 6 will take you all over the globe, from
God,
Egypt and
trying to get all this footage
to
is
Tajikistan and the
crazy.
streets of Brooklyn in the US. At launch, we'll have 9 maps, including a remake of the classic Operation Firestorm from Battlefield 3.
Oh,
Gibraltar
interesting.
is built to be up close and personal. Smaller urban areas designed to support close-quarters combat. Egypt is all about infantry and land vehicles,
Okay, I like it.
while Tajikistan boasts scale, with epic settings that capture our all-out war experience. Then there's Brooklyn, bringing the best of both scale and close quarters combat.
That's crazy to see.
All of these maps are built to support
Fighting in
any of
Brooklyn.
our variety of modes with custom layouts that we call combat zones that have been rigorously playtested and iterated to ensure a thrilling, authentic battlefield experience. No matter where you're playing.
Conquest. Breakthrough. Rush.
I'm not gonna lie, I never know the difference between any of these game modes.
Our
And I've
all-out
never cared to
warfare
figure it out.
trifecta of modes delivers moments you can't get in any other game. And with Battlefield 6, we're giving you more ways to play, all infused with Battlefield's DNA. Team Deathmatch. Squad Deathmatch. Domination. King of the Hill. In our newest addition to our all-out warfare experience called Escalation, where teams are pushed to a final climactic battle that we think our players will love.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay.
We've spent countless hours of playtesting these modes, both internally and alongside our Battlefield Labs participants, and working to refine them and make them feel true to Battlefield's brand of immersive warfare. You can expect more maps, modes, and events as part of our post-launch seasonal content that we'll be telling you about closer to release.
And with the return of Portal, you can also build, share, and play your custom-created experiences.
This new, more
See you, Chris.
powerful version of Portal will enable creators to use an updated toolset that features editing tools
Oh, wow.
that will let you create even wilder experiences.
That's
Not
legit.
all. In Portal's newly redesigned Verified mode, modifiers will allow players to set up hardcore rule sets with one-shot kills, close
Nice.
weapons,
That's
so
cool.
much more, all with full progression and XP gain.
Wow,
With
that's
updates
nuts.
to our UI and navigation systems, it will be easier than ever to find and share exciting new experiences made with
What
Portal.
the heck?
We can't wait to see what you create, share, and play.
Wow. I'm not deep enough into the Portal stuff. Like I'm not deep enough into the like Battlefield ecosystem to understand what Portal was, but when I see that and like I see the tool, specifically that one shot of the tool, I think of like, wow, imagine if Halo 2 back in the day had this level of detail to their creators. This could be huge, right? Like there is a whole argument to be made that games like Battlefield, like any sort of online multiplayer game, the life of that game is extended if you give modders and the creators, and I don't say creator in the sense of like what Livin and I do. I say creators, like people who actually create content like maps and game modes. Like they're going to extend the life of a game like this infinitely, potentially. I think that's really cool, man. That's really cool. I genuinely like the map stuff. I think is neat. Don't get me wrong. Firestorm coming back is really interesting. Does that mean there's going to be another BR mode in here? They kind of like launched the BR in the last game and then just kind of like let it flop, which is fine. I think there is a huge fatigue to BRs. I think BRs are just kind of vanilla at this point. I think lean into what they do well and what makes them different from a COD is going to be probably their bread and butter. I like the maps. I think the maps are really interesting. I specifically think the Brooklyn map is really cool, mainly because it's an iconic location. You don't see a lot of fighting on like in US based maps, which is like I have no care in the world. Like it's a video game. Like fighting these are all pretend things. I don't care if people fight in the US or fight in Tajikistan or wherever else, Gibraltar, wherever else they are. I think it's about something that's iconic. And so to see like Brooklyn be a full-fledged map is really interesting. Oh, there's already a BR, free to play confirmed. There you go. I'm assuming it's Firestorm, but anyways, doesn't really matter. It looks great, guys. I think everybody's really excited for this one. Can somebody confirm in the chat for me when the open beta is? I think we've talked about Battlefield enough. I know we don't have a lot of trailers to get through, but I don't want to just sit here and make this a Battlefield stream. Super pumped about this one. Just, 717 14,000 views on just the maps trailer says a lot. I didn't actually look at how many were on this other one. Let me see. I'm curious. 1.4 million. Like, there's a lot of hype about this. Whoops. And there goes the Reddit. We're back. We're back. There we go. All right, we're going to move on because, as I think it was Daniel, somebody said it in the beginning, closed is next weekend, then hope open is the weekend after. There you go. I assume you have to be in Origin. Is Origin even a thing, or is this in Steam? Battlefield. Oh my gosh, $70 game on Steam. Just absolutely guts me. All right, I don't want any of this stuff. Stop doing all this stuff. Game unlocks October 10th. I don't see anywhere to sign up here. Play for free August 9th to the 10th. August 9th to the 10th. That's next week. Play for free August 9th to the 10th. And then weekend 2, August 14th to the 16th. August 14th to the 16th. Steam now. Oh my gosh. Thank God there's no more EA app. I'm so glad they have just gotten rid of that project. What a disaster Origin was. All right, guys. We're going to move on to Darksiders 4. THQ had their showcase this week, and Darksiders 4 was revealed. I think a lot of folks were surprised. We were certainly surprised. You know, we're close friends with Tragic from Gunfire Games. You know, Gunfire, I think creators of this Livid, I don't remember exactly the relationship, but obviously Gunfire is pretty close to the Darksiders franchise, so THQ owns it. Clearly they've been working on it, and this is the official announcement trailer for Darksiders 4, so let's check it out. Short little trailer.
Hunted. The White City for certain.
Gotcha. Thank you.
The council.
Context is important.
And there will be others. You would wage this war alone?
No. Not alone.
There you go. Hinting at co-op, perhaps? Yeah, I don't know enough about Darksiders to give you guys any real feedback on this other than I think right now there is a void for good action adventure games. I really do, because most of them are either like they've got a survival twist or a Souls twist. But like if you need like a good action adventure game right now, it's kind of hard to find. So like I think there is a market for this. The ones we've talked about, right? Like Forspoken, and then whatever that Upon a Blade or whatever the heck it was last week. Like there are these games that are trying to get into this space, but there's always something that seems to hold them back. Darksiders has a strong IP. Obviously, this is like somewhat of a known factor, right? How many views did this have? 1 million views as of 2 days ago. Like that's a big deal. And I think from a marketing perspective, like you can't undersell name ID, right? How familiar somebody is with the name. That's why everybody knows Apple, right? Like the fact that everybody knows Apple is a huge part of why they're so successful. Now they're successful because, you know, back in the day they made revolutionary products. Now they just make good products. But like Darksiders is a known quantity within the video game world. If this trailer released and it didn't have the Darksiders name, a fraction of those views, a fraction of that attention, and you can't discount that. You have to take that seriously. It's the reason why developers, for better or worse, take the risk and try and create games using the same tired formula because the game probably has name ID. Assassin's Creed is one of the best examples of that. How many different Assassin's Creeds are there? Why do they keep doing it? Well, because it's an IP that has a lot of name ID. Still makes them money. Darksiders, obviously a little bit smaller of a brand, if you will. But Gunfire, THQ, I trust that combination. I trust Gunfire specifically. THQ, we've only done a couple of their games, but like THQ for the most part publishes good games. Gunfire as a developer makes good games. So I think this one is going to be solid. And yeah, it's just going to be a solid action adventure game. I don't think it's got a release date yet. I think this is just an announcement trailer. Is that right? Let me see. Oh, I thought it was there. There it is. Wish list now. So you can wish list it. We don't have a release date, so no point in talking about it further. All right, we got a couple new ones here, and we've got 3 trailers left and 45 minutes to go. So we're definitely going to run out of time. Or not. We're not going to run out of time. And I'm not going to speak 15 minutes for each one. So this one is called Fate Keeper. I have no idea what this is about. This is a Livid special, I see. And, yeah, let's check this one out, because this is one of those... 626,000 views in 2 days. Always a good sign. This is part of the showcase. Oh, I'm going to like this. I love when Livid says that. Here we go. Fate Keeper. Paraglacial. I don't think I know that developer. Good looking game. Okay. Unreal for sure, no doubt about that. I have no idea what this is about. I'm still trying to figure it out. Okay. Druids. I always like a game with a druid. Oh. Oh. First-person RPG is not what I was expecting. Oh shit, guys, this looks really good. Okay, some puzzles. And they are taking every opportunity to showcase Unreal 5 in this one. No doubt about that. Gross. It looks a little bit more deliberate than Tainted Grail. I don't know what to make of that quite yet. Jeez. That's legit. Huh. Fascinating. I always love when a game like that just kind of shows up out of nowhere and does something, you know, not necessarily different, but like at a time when it could potentially be big, right? Like this year we saw Tainted Grail, right? Tainted Grail was a small indie game that I think outperformed by all metrics. I think it outperformed, which I'm excited about. Like Livid and I have talked about this before. We love supporting smaller teams that are literally putting themselves out there, right? Like they could play it safe, and maybe you say they play it safe because they're making a first-person RPG a la Skyrim, but like that's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I was not expecting a first-person RPG, and that's what I think is throwing me off the most. Is like you just don't see this genre very often anymore. And it looks really cool. I think there's a very clearly like a dark fantasy element to it, but there seems to be a lot of like religious, culty type of themes throughout. The setup was kind of strange in the sense that it was like very story driven, but all they were showcasing was like enemies and landscape stuff. I really liked Avowed too, but I thought Avowed had a really clear story and arc, Whereas so far, this is not very clear as to like what it is. And I think that was the same case with Tainted Grail. Tainted Grail is obviously like some spin on Merlin and Knights of the Round Table and stuff like that. But this one is, so far, it just seems to be very much rooted in like religion and cult of this like whatever fantasy world, which is fine, but like trying to do a little bit too much in a trailer where people don't even know what this game is. UI is really clean. Graphics look really good. There's clearly some secret stuff here. I mean, those are all really good indicators of a game that is at least competent. Can't say if it's good or bad, right? No way. But it's at least competent, which I think is really interesting. Liv, I'm really glad you put this one on here because I didn't even know this one was out there, and I'm surprised. Obviously, it was just revealed, but this is definitely one I think we're going to want to keep an eye on. Unreal Engine 5 for sure. Characters look awesome. Enemies look awesome. Armor, environments, all the things. If it's engaging, yeah, I'm down. I'm with you, Lexicon. I love that animation of pouring the poison on the blade. Some of these execution animations are dope. There's very clearly a magic system. You know, all the things we expect from a first-person RPG now, but like, oh my gosh, that execution is nuts. Yeah, blend of Elder Scrolls and Witcher vibes for sure. I don't know how that'll translate in a first-person game. Obviously, Elder Scrolls, amazing first-person game. It's been a while since I like really engaged in a first-person RPG like this, so it's just going to take me a minute to wrap my head around it, but certainly a cool-looking game. So that one's called Fate Keeper. Wish listing it now on Steam. No release date at this time. But yeah, that's why it's got 626,000 views, because it looks really good. All right, next on the list, The Weapons of Lost Soul Aside. Oh, I got it. Lost Soul Aside is the name of the game. This trailer is about the weapons. Got it now. I'm figuring it out. I have no idea what this game is either, so the fact that we're watching a weapons trailer is interesting. But we're just going to do it anyways. Here we go. Lost Soul Aside. Everything is lagging. 10 years of development.
Let me be your vengeance.
Oh, this is the one that was in the August video that you wrote. I remember that one. Very Devil May Cry. I beat you to it by like 5 seconds. But. Yeah, Lexicon, I'm in that camp, but for a slightly different reason, which I'll talk about. All right, so I've got two immediate thoughts. My first immediate thought is that is a lot of stuff. And that has always been and will always be my issue with Eastern-inspired games. To Livid's point in the chat, he said it's Final Fantasy meets Devil May Cry. Those are two games and two series that I don't particularly like. It's a lot of stuff happening. And I don't always feel like it's the most impactful stuff, right? like, as somebody that appreciates games for systems and like giving the player information when they're playing a game, like combat information, this is just a lot of noise. And it doesn't mean it's not impressive. Like, the flourishes are impressive, but like, if you strip that all back, what's there? The answer is often not a whole lot. And I just don't particularly enjoy it. It's flashy combat. Some people really like that. What I think this trailer could have done a little bit better is like actually showing the gameplay with some context in terms of like, what are we seeing? Is this just button mashing? Are these abilities? How do those all work? Now, of course, they're showing the different weapons, and I do think they do a good job of showcasing the different weapons. But like, halfway through the trailer, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, it's just more flashy shit. I think so, Liv, but I'm not positive. So it's cool, but again, this is just never going to track with me. It's just not. It's never going to track with me because this is not the type of game that I like to play, and that's fine. I'm not supposed to like every type of game. That would make me a weirdo. But like, I do like the fact that Devil May Cry, which I feel like those types of action games have been out of the mainstream for a while now, this does have a really interesting opportunity to capitalize on that market. Not only that market, but like to live its point again, the Final Fantasy audience, which, you know, they get their games every couple of years, whatever. Those games seem to be popular for, 2 months, and then they go away, and people are just like truly done with them. Whereas this game, again, I don't know if it's a story game, if there's going to be some sort of end game system with, expanded content, whatever it may be, very clearly is trying to tap into both of those things, which is smart. Like, it's a smart idea. Don't love all this extra shit for pre-ordering the game, obviously, but like PlayStation, Xbox, they all push their first-party developers to do stuff like that. So it's really, really interesting. I think this game will find a certain audience. It'll find a foothold with a certain audience. And if it's good, that audience will expand to maybe a more casual Final Fantasy observer. And PlayStation's pushing it out. This one, not bad. 389,000 views. I say not bad. That's really good. 389,000 views from a day ago. This one's getting some attention. Obviously, with PlayStation pushing it out, it's going to get some attention. Did this one have a release date? Available on August 29th. Duh. It's in our August video because I clearly wrote that. I didn't. Livid wrote it. Lost Soul aside, you guys can check this one out on PS5 and PC. Thank goodness. PC will launch August 30th in Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and Korea. But yeah, this one it's going to be hit or miss depending on what type of combat you like in your games. Okay. Affectionate Ad 536 posted this one. Herdling gameplay trailer. I'm not sure if it's any good, but it does have an interesting concept with good art. Listen, man, that's why we do this. I love interesting looking games with no actual idea if it's going to be good or not. That's where I live. I live in that zone. All right, let's check it out. Here we go. The heck is that thing? Okay. I wouldn't touch it, but that's just me. Oh, it's literally a herding game. I get it now. What? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, definitely a relaxing game. Coming summer 2025. Summer 2025 is almost over, so I would imagine it's coming this month. That's really interesting. When I heard the title Herdling, my brain did not go to I'm a sheep herder with fantasy mammoths or whatever the heck they are. That is definitely not where I was going, but it's interesting. And I do think these types of more artistic games Oh, dude, JP Rocket, you're welcome, man. Welcome to the stream, the Sunday streams. I think it's really interesting to see a game that's trying to do something like this, which is very clearly a more casual, cozy type of game with non-demanding systems, right? You know, you work together as a unit, but the gameplay is not that demanding, as far as I can tell. These games have a tendency to surprise you with like how challenging some aspects of them can be. But not necessarily all aspects of the game. Very clearly, there are moments that are supposed to be like sweet and calming, which like this campfire scene, maybe that's how every mission ends or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But it's a really interesting concept. I don't know. Obviously, this type of game does not usually get a whole lot of attention. Let's see if it is on Steam here. Herdling. Wishlist it. Oh, there's a second trailer. This is just a teaser trailer. I kind of want to watch this. Let's watch this trailer too. We got time. Wait, it's from the publishers of Firewatch? Okay, so I didn't play Far Changing Tides, but obviously if you've heard me talk about Firewatch, you know I am I'm just an absolute stan for Firewatch. One of my favorite games of all time. This comes off very creepy. Like, I really don't like how creepy this thing is. Like, that whole setup was very creepy. And I don't know why it needed to be, but whatever. Matt, I can help you in 1 second, buddy. I know that he's friendly, but he's creepy. Cool environments here. The fact that the big ones are like, you know, like walking on two legs is kind of freaky. Dang. Okay. All right. This is very clearly the base or a shrine of some sort, but some sort of like recurring area. Anyways, this is Herdling. I think it's really interesting. Guide, protect, and fall in love with the motley crew herd of calicorns. Traverse stunning mountainscapes, fog-wreathed forests, snowy plateaus, and forgotten valleys. Hone your herding skills as you navigate a wide range of challenges, threats, and light environmental puzzles. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, looks cool. Like it. Love Firewatch, one of my favorite games of all time. I did not know that the developer or the publisher of Firewatch was a company called Panic. Yeah, Campo Santo is what I knew. What have they done? Have they done anything since Firewatch? Oh, that's right. This game is coming out in the Valley of the Gods. What? December 2029? That seems a little far away. I think that's their default like placeholder when there's no release date. Because I remember, didn't we just see a trailer on this at like Summer Game Fest or something? I don't know. Doesn't matter. All right. Guys, if you are not part of the Discord, not part of the Reddit, you got to get in here. I need more trailers next week. I think you guys have been doing an awesome job. I think you dropped the ball this week. I'm kidding, of course. But use the subreddit, post the trailers. Livid was kind enough to send me a couple. So we're going to dive into 2 more at least. And then we'll figure out what happens after that. So if you guys have not been checking out Marvel Rivals, which it has been a minute for me, and I'm actually really sad about that. I loved this game. I loved everything about this game. Blade was just announced, as part of the current season or the next season, something like that. Blade is a character that, I don't know, I think Blade is like a B-tier hero. Like, I don't feel like he's in that top upper echelon, but he's often like right below, like a B-C. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But anyways, Blade is coming to the game. Let's check out his move set.
I'll fight to end the darkness that's spawned me.
Alright, melee focused character, baby. I see the gun. Yeah, okay, so he does have some range. That's cool. Oh man, he is kind of a menace.
Judgment's coming.
Here's the old.
Still got an edge.
Dang.
1,000 gods! Bury the light.
Nice. I'm not a Blade guy, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to disrespect. Like, Blade, I think he was ahead of his time. Let's just put it that way. So I think this is interesting. The game doesn't have a lot of melee duelists, right? They've got magic, which is great, but I think the game is largely built around ranged heroes. So having another melee in the mix is actually really interesting. You know, you've got Wolverine, you've got magic, you've got... Who am I missing? Obviously, you've got some of the Vanguard characters, but you don't have a lot of melee duelists. So to see him like really be a disruption, and it's interesting. I was really expecting him to be a dive hero, but I don't know. I don't see him necessarily as a dive hero. Granted, this is a trailer, but he's like really coming at folks like right down their gullet, and I think that's actually really interesting because I think what that's setting up is that you have dive heroes. You have Magic, who is a dive hero. Is Blade a little bit more on the tanky Vanguard side of thing? Hard to say. I'm interested in this. I don't think it's enough to bring me back to the game. I don't know if anything is big enough to bring me back to the game. And that makes me actually really sad because there was nothing that pulled me away from Marvel Rivals. Like, I really enjoyed Marvel Rivals. I might even still be playing it if I wasn't making content with Livid for the channel. Like, I really enjoyed playing Emma Frost. Speaking of Emma Frost, like, she's on the screen right now. But, like, right after that, I just kind of fell off. I did think Emma Frost was a weird character to introduce as early as they did. She feels like a C/D tier level character, in my opinion. Like, just in terms of, like, name ID of all the Marvel characters that they have access to, and DC characters, right? They've got access to a lot of characters. That's who they... Is it just Marvel? No, it's just Marvel. Sorry. Marvel Rivals. Of all the Marvel characters they could tap into, I just felt like that one was a strange one. Blade makes sense where he is in the the crux of the game, with this being like the vampire season or whatever the heck it is. Anyways, Blade coming to the game. You can tell. Is he really, Rob? That's so interesting, man. Again, I am just not that into comics. That's so strange. But yeah, you can just tell, like, just talking about the state of the game, 76,000 views on the official gameplay trailer from Blade is kind of low. I'm actually curious if the official Marvel Rivals was more. Okay, that makes more sense. 3.6 million. Okay, makes sense. Very clearly, there's still a lot of hype around this. I mean, it's still one of the top 10 concurrent players, you know, on SteamDB, right? Like, if we check SteamDB, let's see here. Yeah, it's number 4 right now. 125 concurrent players right now. Still got a positive rating. I don't know what it's currently at, like what its recent ratings are. Let's see. Recent reviews are mixed. Why are recent reviews mixed? Game itself is fun. Yeah, engagement optimized matchmaking. I have seen a lot of folks talking about the engagement model. I don't know exactly how it works, but interesting to see that that's something that people are kind of upset about. Anyways, Marvel Rivals, if you're still playing it, Blade's coming out. There you go. All right, Livid sent me another one. This is the Gothic 1 remake trailer, the official release window trailer, I should say, for Gothic 1 remake. Here we go.
Have you ever wondered why the formation of the barrier went out of control? I know the other mages haven't, but I'm not like the other mages. I see everything. And I see how the barrier affects all living things in this God's forsaken colony. And every convict will eventually succumb to its influence. The old camp, with their pitiful illusion of order and safety. And yes, the so-called Brotherhood of the Sleeper, worshipping their mysterious god.
Later, Danny. Thanks for stopping by the stream, man.
They might be onto something. And the orcs. Well, you might dismiss their culture as primitive, but it would be prudent to study them carefully. Maybe the key to all of this lies buried deep under their sanctuaries. I cannot unravel these mysteries all alone. I need allies. Allies who look out for more than their own survival. Allies who accomplish things you might have considered impossible. Allies I will meet.
This is such a strange trailer. Please give me a little gameplay. There's a lot of creepy looking enemies in this game, that's for sure. What? You transform into a wolf? That's kind of cool. Combat looks wicked slow. I can't tell if it's just the trailer, but it looks wicked slow. Yeah, this is another one to Livid's point. Like, I have also not played this game. Oh, there's some more here. Hold on. What else we got here? Oh my gosh, is this the original? Holy crap. That's wild. It's amazing to see how far games have come, man. It really is. Woo. Yeah, so this one looks like a third-person adventure game, RPG. I never played Gothic, but man, just those last couple of shots there with like the original game, that makes you that just puts into perspective like how far games, specifically graphics and systems, have come in the last however many years. Just wild to see that kind of juxtaposition. Like, I was looking at this like, okay, this looks good, but like how old could the other game look? And I stand corrected, because holy crap, that other game looks hella old. But that's just the era it was from, right? I don't know. I think Gothic, you know, we were just talking about name ID. I think Gothic obviously has some name ID, but not a ton. Like, there's a very few limited amount of players who actually like experienced Gothic in its heyday, and like, is that enough to carry the name forward? I don't know. This whole beginning part of the trailer I thought was good. It was just a weird delivery. It almost looks like it almost looks like somebody built models and then took a camera, like almost like how they used to build whatchamacallit, almost like how they used to build Star Wars sets. Some of the old Star Wars sets, they made miniatures, and then they would fly a camera through it to get you some of like the space shots and stuff like that. So I just think that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It definitely looks like these are actual models, but then again, you can fake anything. So yeah, Oblivion remake. You're right, Daniel. The Oblivion remake certainly found an audience, but I do think Elder Scrolls. I think Elder Scrolls has a pretty big leg up over a game like Gothic, but you're right. It's the same audience. It's the same player base. You know, if Gothic even remotely rises to the level, I think it's going to find an audience too. I think Tainted Grail, the Oblivion remake, I think they've proven that there is still a very hungry audience for first-person, third-person RPGs a la Skyrim, a la The Witcher, right? Like, there's definitely something like that. Yeah, no, it's all good, Liv. So that's pretty much it for trailers, guys. As always, I'll do one more plug for the Reddit here. If you guys have not subscribed to the subreddit, please do that. We're almost up to 100 members. We're getting there. Every week, I look to this subreddit to help us figure out trailers. It's a slow week. We're going to have a lot of stuff from Gamescom, but this is the time to find some stuff that's a little bit niche, a little bit more indie. And yeah, would love to do stuff like that with you guys. As I said, we got a couple more Grounded videos in the works. I don't know when you're going to see them. We're probably going to start editing the next one tomorrow. And then we'll have, I don't know, 1 or 2 more. It's a limited set of content. It's good stuff. We got a lot of videos out there if you want some grounded stuff. If you want some different stuff, you can check out Fervor Gaming, who's in the chat here too. He's got a build guide up that's really good. He's got some other stuff different than what's on our channel. You can check that out. And yeah, we will have more. I don't know what's next for us. We're not covering Mafia: The Old Country. They gave us like 4 days of early access, and I'm like, I was talking to Livid, and he's like, dude, this is like a GTA sized game. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that in 4 days, so you're not going to see anything from us on that one. And then after that, it's weak. Oh my gosh, August is so slow. So hoping for maybe a shadow drop from Gamescom. I think next week we're probably going to play a little Battlefield. Super pumped about that. And then don't forget Battlefield next weekend, the weekend after, free to play for everybody, open weekend, so you can check that out if you want to. And then, yeah, eventually we'll get to September, and some more games will be out that we'll cover. Anyways, guys, always fun to hang out with you on a Sunday night. Sorry we're a little late, but that's just the way it goes. I'm going to go record a VO for something, and I will not be back next week. I was in Rhode Island for a family vacation last time. I'm going to another family vacation in Maine this time, so I will not be streaming next week, but I will be back the following week. I will give you all of my Battlefield thoughts then, and hopefully with 2 weeks of trailers under our belts, we can actually get to 11. So, as always, thanks for hanging out with me. Legacy After Dark. I hope you guys have a great week. Stay cool if you're in someplace hot. Stay safe if you're someplace dangerous. And, of course, be good to one another. I think that's important right about now. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks so much for watching, and play on. Thanks, guys.